Welcome back to our special hour on the treatment of transgender youth in America. You've heard from doctors about the concerns of how much to treat and when to treat teens who suffer from body dysphoria. And of course, they do support the treatment of these kids and transition as well in cases. But there's another group that needs to be heard from. Back with me is NewsNation's investigative correspondent Rich McHugh. Spent 6 months on this. And when it comes to, well, what do we want to look out for? You know, how bad could this get? That's where detransitioning comes in.
Right. So as part of looking into this story, I was like, I need to talk to as many trans people as possible, and I also need to figure out who is the most vocal and who's silent. So I started seeing people coming out on Twitter and social media detransitioning, talking about it and saying they've been silenced and they've been vilified. And I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't make too much sense. They've gone through this. They have a right to speak. They need to be part of this conversation. And so you're going to hear from three stories, what they've gone through, and their thoughts on, you know, the road ahead.
Here we go.
Over the past decade, there has been as high as a 4,000% increase in children being referred to so-called gender clinics across the United States. I was one of these children.
18-year-old Chloe Cole came forward this year getting real about her transition to a boy.
How would you characterize the whole experience, what you've been through?
It was horrifying.
Cole says she always felt like a tomboy, but the idea to transition really started when she opened a social media account.
Very quickly after I made my account, actually, I started the algorithm of Instagram actually started recommending me a bunch of, like a lot of LGBTQ content, particularly like trans-identified females who were around my age.
Cole says she went to see a therapist.
I was recommended to a gender specialist. It was kind of just like, oh, if you think you're this, then we'll say you're this.
Cole says that when her parents raised questions, the therapist turned up the warning.
They basically cited the high suicide rates amongst like trans-identified adolescents, and they basically said, would you rather have a dead daughter or a live son?
Had you expressed any suicidal ideation to anyone?
No.
Cole says it all happened fast from there.
I got my first blocker and testosterone shots at 13 years old. And it was at 15 that I decided that I went under the knife to get my mastectomy.
At this point, you were convinced that this was the right course of action for you.
I was convinced that I was actually a boy, even if I wasn't, even if my body was female, and nobody really questioned this belief at all.
At 16, she got a double mastectomy, and then she felt something creeping in. Regret.
I told my mom. I kind of just broke down crying to her one night about how this was the biggest mistake of my life.
Do you think you've been wronged by the healthcare community?
Yes.
Cole is now suing 3 doctors and the medical group that oversaw her hormone therapy and surgery.
I mean, my breasts are gone permanently. I have no idea about like whether I'll be able to have kids.
Cole isn't the only one with regrets. Helena and Luca say their struggles with their gender began when they hit puberty.
I definitely believed I wanted a double mastectomy. It was something that I fantasized about all the time.
I started medically transitioning at 16. I got a double mastectomy before I was on hormones.
The 3 are part of a new, ever-growing group called detransitioners who have transitioned and then transitioned back.
I'll never be fully male. I'll never, at this point, there's no really going all the way back. And I don't know what to do.
For a while, I kind of talked to other trans people, and they're like, oh yeah, just get surgeries and you'll feel so much better after you get surgeries. But that it didn't feel right. And eventually I just stopped the testosterone.
And how was it after you stopped?
All of these crazy symptoms that were happening to me that wound me up in the hospital completely stopped. I haven't experienced any of those things since stopping the testosterone. I also felt just incredibly lost because this was the way that I had been interpreting myself for about 5 years.
The voice of detransitioners now so loud, lawmakers, medical boards, even prominent doctors who promote transitions for kids are paying attention.
One thing we absolutely have to do is start learning from the detransitioners. There are more and more every day.
Dr. Laura Edwards Leeper was the first clinical psychologist at the first gender clinic in the United States. She says the healthcare community is starting to conduct clinical research on detransitioners, but more needs to be done.
There are slowly studies being done, but those researchers are terrified to put their research out there. They are attacked unbelievably for even discussing that this is a possibility. But we can't do good clinical work if we don't understand and learn from them to know what did we do wrong.
For Chloe, Luca, and Helena, it's a matter of life or death for kids struggling there right now. Important enough for them to come forward and say, wait.
We as a society have seriously failed the youngest generation. And we can't blame them for that because they didn't, choose to feel this way at 14, 15 years old. But the medical model that we kind of funnel the troubled kids into just has no way of really addressing this on a deep level.
There's just no defending this. You cannot possibly defend sterilizing and then mutilating children.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.